Congratulations, you finished season three, and all that's left to do now is listen to my review. And thankfully, episode eight, the finale, does not disappoint because it makes sure to deliver on all of our hopes and anticipations that have been building since the beginning of the season. The most obvious example of this is in Tumbleton, but I want to save that for the end and instead begin with Rhaenyra's character development because finally she has the insight to realize Mercy is not doing her any favors. Kindness is not helping her. She's done away with all these weaknesses and begins to finally rule with an iron fist because she realizes in this world, cruelty and strategy are synonymous. It finally gets through to her. And her actions represent this. Even the way she looks this episode is completely different. But let's look at what she does. She allows the muzzle to be finally taken off Damon's face, telling him do whatever it takes to secure a victory in Tumbleton. She recognizes Helena no longer as her flesh and blood, but as a political pawn who can be leveraged for her own gain. And most importantly, this should have been done on day one. She kills the High Septon. She orders his death because he, since the beginning, has represented every single person who has viewed her as illegitimate. And I hope that this is just the beginning because I'm really optimistic in stating that this should be how Rhaenyra acts and this should be her nature in the future for almost all of season four. And it is imperative that she does not return to her ways of folly that we've seen in the previous episodes. So if this is delivered, I'm really excited for season four and Rhaenyra's development. Then, if we look on the other side of the coin, it's almost the exact opposite between Aemond and Aegon, because instead, this is where we see the usefulness of mercy. Again, I'm not somebody who's cold hearted and callous and wants to see beheadings every single scene. Instead, I just want to see strategy. And I'm so glad to see Aegon recognize the utility of Aemond in his fight to regain King's Landing and how much greater that is than the short-sighted goal of seeking vengeance. He's finally, using his sensibilities and not listening to his base senses. And I really hope that Aemond's hint at him joining forces with Darren also comes to fruition because it would just be awesome to see all of the High Tower sons flying into battle together and all of the individuals who once claimed to be people who should have a claim on the Iron Throne united as one would be cool. A house divided against itself cannot stand, and I want to see this house rebuild itself with strong roots. So that'd be great. And then the rest of this episode, the almost half of it is Tumbleton, and obviously this has been building up since season three, episode four, I believe, and it does not fail in its promises of seeing bloodshed, of seeing dragon fire, of seeing just northern brutality when it comes to tactics. And it was just a great scene. So many things happen. You have rubble collapsing. You see Ormond using children as human shields. Just atrocious things, both on the battlefield, up in the sky. Truly just awesome to see. So in terms of entertaining, I'm just so glad we finally got to see this battle. And again, this is a hope for season four. It's confirmed that season four is the final season, and there can only be one man left standing. So I'm expecting a battle to this scale once every 3 episodes at a minimum in season four. I'm pretty sure each episode has a budget of 10 million, so HBO can afford it. And this is what I'm hoping for. Because to get one of these magnificently scaled battles in only one season is not enough. And yes, Tumbleton was great, but the glory of episode eight just reminded me of everything we've been deprived of for almost this entire season, of having to spend half of the season with Aemond in Harrenhal without any Vagar. All these things when there could have been battle, when there could have been these, glorious scenes. Instead, it's just people living in isolation that's not fun to watch. So I'm really going into the hope that season three isn't just ending on a high note for the sake of it, and it's going to return to that low note that begins almost every season so far in House of the Dragon. But instead, season four picks up the intensity and picks up the energy right where it left off. Now, there's not going to be another review, and we're not going to find out if my predictions are right for another 2 years. But I can promise you, once season four, episode one comes out, my reviews will come with it. I hope that you stay tuned. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe and keep the popcorn warm.